Call or click and see how easy it is to schedule your windshield replacement today.
Good evening and welcome into the Thursday, February 19th edition of the WHKY News. I'm Rob Eastwood. Topping our news tonight, a pedestrian was killed in a crash this morning in Catawba County. The deceased is 35-year-old Bruce Matthew Hoyle of Hickory. At approximately 6:45 a.m. today, the North Carolina State Highway Patrol responded to Interstate 40 eastbound near exit 126 in Catawba County. A 2025 Acura Integra was traveling east on 40 and collided with a pedestrian in the roadway. That pedestrian, Bruce Matthew Hoyle, passed away from his injuries at the scene of the collision. The driver of the Acura was treated for minor injuries. The initial investigation concluded Mr. Hoyle walked out into oncoming traffic. Speed or impairment are not contributing factors in the collision. There will be no charges in this case. While troopers conducted the on-scene investigation, I-40 East was closed partially for several hours. Our condolences to the family of Mr. Hoyle. Highway Patrol responded to a crash in Caldwell County earlier today. This one involved an ambulance. Shortly after 9 a.m., Highway Patrol responded to an injury collision on North Carolina 18 near Tremont Park. A 2024 Ford Caldwell County ambulance was traveling east on NC 18, crossed the center line, and collided with a westbound 2011 Toyota RAV4. The driver of the ambulance had no injuries. The RAV4's driver was transported to UNC Blue Ridge Morganton with life-threatening injuries. The investigation is still ongoing. Charges are pending following consultation with the district attorney's office. A Highway Patrol vehicle was involved in a crash earlier today on North Carolina 16 in Lincoln County. Shortly before 8 a.m., the North Carolina State Highway Patrol was dispatched to a motor vehicle collision involving one of their patrol cars and two other vehicles on NC 16 at Optimist Club Road. A Dodge Charger was traveling south on 16 and collided with a 2025 Ford F-150, which then collided with a 1996 Mitsubishi passenger car. The drivers of all three vehicles were uninjured. The initial investigation is still being conducted. Up next, Ariana Mack has details on the completion of a major project in a Hickory metro county.
That's correct, Rob. The Alexander Industrial Park Sewer Project is officially complete, marking a major milestone in the county's ongoing efforts to attract new business and support existing industry. County staff, engineers, and utility representatives gathered on January 26th for a final walkthrough of the project, which includes approximately 2,440 feet of newly installed 8-inch gravity sewer line. The infrastructure improvement delivers critical sewer service to a 16-acre graded site within the industrial park, significantly enhancing the property's appeal to prospective employers. Beyond serving the initial 16 acres, the new sewer line has the capacity to support future development on an additional 72 acres owned by Alexander County and 150 acres owned by Alexander Railroad Company, positioning the site for long-term growth and expansion. The Alexander Industrial Park is currently home to several established employers, including Craftmaster Furniture, Paragon Films, Borealis Compounds, and Shaver Reload. Reporting for WHKY, I'm Ariana Mack.
Thanks, Ariana. I had the chance to speak with a representative from the district attorney's office recently. He discussed the process that follows the arrest of an individual suspected to be undocumented and also outlined the office's priorities when it comes to prosecuting certain crimes. Joining us on WHKY News is Kyle Smith, Senior Assistant District Attorney, 36th Prosecutorial District. In the news is, of course, immigration and immigration enforcement. Not always in the best light, I guess, in the news, but it is something that is important for communities to take care of, and that's done on a local level as well as on a federal level. When an undocumented individual comes into the system, they say they get arrested. Talk a little bit about the process.
Sure, I think I would really want the viewing public to know that immigration status doesn't give you a pass, but you are also at the same time going to have to answer for your offense that you've committed. So whenever there's a crime that happens, especially here in Catawba County, because that's where I work, that person would answer for the criminal offense. And then after that offense is handled in court, if there was some kind of ICE detainer, then they would be turned over to federal authorities for federal authorities to follow due process.
Also, last thing I wanted to talk to you about is prioritizing certain crimes. What does the office look at? Maybe, I know you prioritize all crimes, but what do you look at as at the top of that list or near the top of that list?
Sure. So Mr. Riley, our elected district attorney, has a quote, and I wholeheartedly agree with this quote. And the quote is, if everything's a priority, then nothing is a priority. So what we try to do, every crime matters, but we are also living in the reality that we have limited resources in which we're working with. So we try to focus on violent crime. After violent crime, then we're going to be moving down the line, and we're talking about handling repeat habitual offenders. And at the same time, we're looking at those who victimize children, because children are our most vulnerable victims, and we want to make sure we're protecting children. And then after that, we're looking at drug traffickers, because they're the ones that are putting drugs out on the street, creating chaos and trouble for so many families, especially those who suffer from addiction.
Kyle Smith, the Senior Assistant District Attorney, joining us here on WHKY News. Thanks again to Kyle for joining us. In today's crime report, David Cedrone reports on an arrest in Alexander County in which a suspect was charged with a string of offenses. In local sports, Jason Savage has details on the latest win for the record-setting LR women's basketball team. In Community Focus, we'll have details on an upcoming autism walk and a preview of a show coming up at Hickory Community Theater. We are on over-the-air TV every weekday at 5:30 and 10 p.m. on channel 14.2, and now live at 5:30 on the WHKY YouTube channel and 10 o'clock on the WHKY Facebook page. We're also in multiple cable systems, including Compass in Morganton. I'm Rob Eastwood, and this is the WHKY News.